Tennessee is a landlocked state. However, in today's video, we are going to be talking about 4 lakes that are in and around the Nashville area. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I am a local Nashville real estate agent and founder of the Caitlin Martin team, powered by 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 Realtors, the Andrews Group. I specialize in working with savvy sellers who want to sell right and sell smart, as well as working with out-of-staters looking to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified anytime I release new video content. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 4 major lakes that are in and around the Nashville area. So I know a lot of times when people are looking to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area, one of the drawbacks tends to be the fact that we are a landlocked state, and a lot of times they're coming from a place that at least has a coastline. So while we do not have a coastline here, we do have lakes. And so, of course, that may not satisfy your love of the beach. That's okay. We still have bodies of water, because I will tell anybody that's thinking about moving here that when it comes to our summer months, it's really important, just with the heat and humidity, to be around a body of water, whether that's your own personal pool, a neighborhood pool, getting out on one of our lakes. It's just really important to help deal with the heat and humidity. So let's first talk about the 2 main lakes that are here in the Nashville area. So within the heart of Nashville, we have 2 major lakes, one being Percy Preist Lake and the other being Old Hickory. Now, if you look outside of Nashville, if you go about an hour to hour and a half, depending on which direction you go, we're also going to be looking at Center Hill Lake and Timms Ford Lake. But let's first start with the 2 that are in and around the Nashville area. So up first is going to be Percy Preist Lake. This is going to be the closest to the heart of Nashville. So if you're taking a look at a map, if you see the heart of Nashville and you head just east a little bit, you will see there's Percy Preist Lake. In fact, if you're actually driving on 40 going westbound towards Nashville, you're actually going to be able to see the dam on Percy Preist Lake right there. So Percy Preist Lake, it covers portions of Davidson County, Wilson County, and Rutherford, which, if you don't know exactly where those are, Davidson's going to be the heart of Nashville. That's where Davidson County is found. Wilson County, one of the major towns that you'll find there is going to be Mount Juliet, and then Rutherford, one of the major towns you'll notice there is Murfreesboro. Percy Preist, it's about 42 miles long. You've got about a little over 200 miles worth of shoreline. There are 4 major commercial marinas on Percy Preist Lake, but if you're thinking about real estate when it comes to Percy Preist Lake, you're really not going to find that lakefront typical property. This is going to be more of a lake that's geared towards recreational activities, so boating, skiing, things like that. There's just really not an opportunity for true lakefront properties on Percy Preist. Another thing to know about Percy Preist is around it, there is a smaller water amusement park called Nashville Shores. It's going to be right there, kind of near the dam. This can be a popular place to go because one of the things, like I said, in the summertime, you're going to want to be around water, so it's super popular during the summer months, and it is going to be located right there on Percy Preist Lake. Another thing to point out about Percy Preist, with the marinas, you can do boat rentals, and they do have boat or yacht clubs that you can join if you don't want to have to necessarily purchase your own boat. And on Percy Preist, there actually is a designated cove called Party Cove, where a lot of boats go, drop anchor, and people hang out during the summer months. So now that's going to be Percy Preist Lake. So now let's go take a look at Old Hickory, because again, there's 2 major lakes in and around the heart of Nashville. So Old Hickory Lake, it's actually going to be a little bit northeast of Nashville. When it comes to the location, you're really gonna have Hendersonville at the top portion of the lake. You also have a portion of Gallatin, and then around the southern side of the lake is where you're gonna find Mount Juliet. This lake tends to be the lake in the Middle Tennessee area. If you want lakefront property, this is where you have that opportunity. Because the interesting thing about Old Hickory though, is if you're actually on the water and you're taking a look at the different kinds of real estate on the water, you're gonna notice that in certain sections of the lake, you're going to have those homes. They're gonna be a little bit closer together, but you have more of a gentle sloped lot down to your own private dock. Whereas there's other homes that sit on different portions of the lake where it is still a part of a community. However, instead of having that direct lakefront access, you actually are going to be up on a bit of a cliff. So you have the lake views, just not the direct lake access. And people ask about the different kinds of real estate on Old Hickory. That's the thing. The home styles vary vastly on Old Hickory. You can have everything from a traditional home to more of that older ranch style, because that's something that you'll find, especially in the Hendersonville area, because it's more of that older lake community. You're gonna have a lot of the more ranch, mid-century modern type homes. However, you can also have stunning Southern style homes. You can have just absolutely beautiful, larger homes. So the type of architecture that you find on the lake, it really varies just depending on where you are. Old Hickory Lake is actually the larger lake. It is going to extend about 97 miles into Carthage, Tennessee, the Cordell Hull Dam. So it's a rather large lake. It's going to be bigger than Percy Preist Lake. And again, this lake versus Percy Preist is going to give you those real estate opportunities when it comes to the lake. Old Hickory is also really popular for, again, boating, recreational activities. There's a couple of marinas around. There's also a couple of campgrounds around Old Hickory Lake. So you have that opportunity too. And then similar to Percy Preist Lake, there is a portion of the lake called 2 Foot, and this is where boats in the summer will go drop anchor in shallow water, just hang out. It's basically Party Cove, but it's called 2 Foot on Old Hickory Lake. Now, another fun fact about Old Hickory Lake is actually you can still see the ruins of one of Johnny Cash's properties that was lakefront. It burned down several years ago, but you can still see the ruins of it. So that's another fun fact. If you know where to look, you can always drive up past that. But again, you know, Old Hickory Lake, it's been popular. This is where, you know, we know that certain high profile celebrities and clientele, Old Hickory is where they go to get lakefront property. But again, you can at the same time get a wonderful lake home that doesn't have to be one of the more upscale luxury properties. The other thing to know about Old Hickory is you definitely have homes that face the main body of water, but you also do have several coves that are off of Old Hickory where there's lake opportunities there as well. Okay, so now let's actually take a look at the 2 lakes that are gonna be outside of Nashville. So first up, let's talk about Center Hill Lake. So this is gonna be located about an hour east of Nashville. So it does make it convenient to get to, whether you want to do a day trip or a weekend trip. It's got close proximity. So Center Hill Lake, a couple of things to know. It is known for its water activities, for its fishing. It also features waterfalls, rocky bluffs, and forest. You have several marinas on Center Hill. You also have multiple spots for boat ramps. There's actually almost 400 different campgrounds. There's hiking trails. So this is a really great lake for a lot of outdoor activity. The thing to know about Center Hill Lake is you can find property that looks onto the lake, but because it's characterized by kind of the rocky bluffs, it's going to be less of that opportunity for true lakefront where you're right there at the water's edge with, you know, a gentle sloping lot down to the water. This is going to be where you're going to be up perched on a cliff and you're going to have water views. So that is something to keep in mind. Again, you've got close proximity to Nashville, makes it a great daytime getaway. It can also be a great weekend getaway. The other thing to know about Center Hill is that it's very popular for houseboats. Now, I grew up in Virginia. I wasn't really familiar on those lakes with the concept of houseboats. However, when I went to the University of Tennessee, my roommate freshman year, her family had one, and we went and enjoyed the houseboat, and that was where I first learned that there is a big community of houseboats out there that they can take out on the lake. So again, lots of opportunity at Center Hill Lake, but just know this is going to be far less of an opportunity for that true lakefront property where you have direct access. This is going to be where you have the opportunity to find lakefront property, or even do like an Airbnb or VRBO, where you actually are going to be up on a cliff but overlooking the lake. Again, you got to remember with Tennessee, we definitely have rolling hills and more mountainous terrains in different parts of the state. So that's why you find that, especially with like Center Hill Lake. All right, and then our last lake that we're going to talk about is Timms Ford Lake. So this is going to be about an hour and 15 to hour and a half drive from Nashville, depending on where you are. And it's actually going to be down Interstate 24, like you're heading towards Chattanooga. The neat thing to know about Timms Ford Lake is the fact that on the north shoreline part of the lake, that's where you actually find Timms Ford State Park, which means that if you are sitting on a property, or you're visiting a property, or you're looking for a property where you don't want to see it built on the other side, then that would be an opportunity to look at, okay, well, what is near Timms Ford State Park? Because it can never be built on because it is a state park. There's actually 4 marinas around Timms Ford Lake. The other thing to know, Timms Ford Lake, it's really popular for camping. There's multiple, you have the state park, there's multiple opportunities for camping, for hiking. There's actually a beautiful golf course that's there right around Timms Ford Lake. So another fun fact about Timms Ford Lake is going to be at Timms Ford State Park. There's actually a Jack Nicklaus designed golf course that's a part of the state park where you can have these beautiful water view opportunities. Also, Timms Ford State Park offers plenty of camping opportunities. So again, kind of similar to what you have at Center Hill, you're going to notice around Timms Ford Lake, you do have more opportunity to have more kind of the gentle sloping lot to your own dock. You'll also find that, you can have homes that are going to be sitting more on the cliff top overlooking everything. Visitors on Timms Ford Lake, they tend to enjoy a lot of water activities such as boating, skiing, swimming, water tubing. So there's a lot that you can do on Timms Ford Lake. But again, it's not a terrible drive outside of Nashville. Depending on where you're located, you're looking at an hour and 15 to hour and a half. It can be a popular destination to maybe have a lake house when you want to live in Nashville and be able to get to it on the weekends. There is short-term rental opportunity at Timms Ford Lake, also with Center Hill as well. So these are things just to keep in mind. But again, the major point of this video is just to let you know that there are water opportunities, there are lake opportunities, there's lake real estate opportunities. If maybe you're looking at Nashville and you're saying I love the idea of Nashville, but the idea of being landlocked, we do have those kinds of opportunities. So those are going to be the 4 major lakes. Again, you've got Percy, Preist, Old Hickory, right within the heart of Nashville, and then within an hour to hour and a half outside of Nashville, depending on which direction you go, you do have Timms Ford Lake as well as Center Hill Lake. So if you're thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is below. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.